Can they hear me? Can they hear me live out there? Next beat. That ain't the beat I wanted to.
Those was wood
another
beats
beat.
right
Another
there.
beat.
You know?
Nope. Give me another beat. Give me another beat. Nope. That's not it. That's the beat. Turn it up.
Oh, word.
Turn it up. I gotta hear it a little louder. Can you make it louder than my headphones? Turn me up in my headphones. I'm still stuck in the 80s/90s. Lottos, kangaroo boots, nanny ghosts, Velas, jumpsuits and troops, Junos, color Levi's, Bugs Bunny sweaters with the rhinestone ring on it. Fighting and making up the next day. Nobody getting shot. Working and hustling to get it, or get got. We had love for the streets, our family, our foes, our friends. Respect for the elderly. Pager/payphone, sneaking into Adams Theater. Watching Crush grooving tougher than leather. Hopping gates out the college port to bank out, cause you don't wanna get caught at mom's crib or at Vaughn's crib. Eating funny dinner with the fam. Church every Sunday, 8 o'clock a.m. And even if I fell asleep in the back row or played sick, no matter what, man, I still had to go. 80s, baby. He's a DJ, I'm the rapper. He's a DJ, I'm the rapper. 80s, baby. He's a DJ, I'm the rapper. He's a DJ, I'm the rapper. I used to ride my bike downtown the war. Never depended on moms or no one. I had to do it on my own. Caught the bus and swoop up. The latest 10 starter jacket to match with the blue and gray Hoya hat. But got rushed for all of that by some Wilbur Wright stools. They checked me in right in front of the school. Got my first dookie rope from Tiff. I felt I was the man. A freshman with a single.
Welcome, everybody. How we doing? This is the XCast. I'm Josh. I'm your host. I'm here with Adam. He's the co-host and the producer. It's episode number 70. It's day 4,959 in the search for Tim Shovelday. How's it going, Adam? What's up?
Doing well. How are you doing, man?
I'm awesome, dude.
Good.
Sorry, I'm trying to see. This is why Adam does all the technical stuff. He's got me doing technical stuff, and I can't multitask.
I'm having you look at your phone. is that the extent of your
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Technical capability there?
I just see, I just shared it, I believe, I shared it to the wrong page. But, you know, maybe they'll like it at that page too. I don't know. Hopefully the people over at Star Wars Epic Battles want to watch our podcast. We are gonna maybe talk some Star Wars later.
Yeah, maybe.
So
we'll see.
Yeah. I'm a moron. I can't do this stuff.
Did you get it where you needed to go though?
I think so. So. I'm pretty sure. You'll see it up on your little computer hub here. If I screwed it up, you'll see it soon enough. See, Adam doesn't like to post this stuff anymore because he has a reputation for being a liberal troll.
Well, I was going to say, how does it feel to be part of a leftist fake news website?
I am.
Does it feel good
to be part of a leftist fake news website? It's okay. It's not as bad as you'd think. You know, I mean, yeah, I'm part of a leftist fake news website.
I mean, because that's those aren't my words. Those are somebody else's words.
Well, okay. You know, maybe we do spread some leftist fake news here. But who's like that cat on MSNBC with the Joe Scarborough, right?
The guy with the glasses and his wife.
Yeah,
his wife's name.
Yeah, is it his wife?
In the morning, morning with the Morning Joe. Yeah, it's his wife.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
okay. Mika.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know they were married. Have they always been married?
I don't think.
Not like since birth. I mean, since like on the show.
I don't think since the show's inception, but I think they've been married for quite some time, and they were friends with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
They were good friends with Donald.
No, he was a Republican senator, so I feel like I like the token non-leftist on the Empire Media?
I guess until Ed gets here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we got Ed. We got Ed. We got Sean.
Well,
Sean's
Ed's not token though. Ed is.
Yeah, I'd like to think I'm not either.
No, you're not.
But
no,
maybe I'm closer than Ed is. Ed's like the token Alex Jones guy.
Yeah.
On the show,
which is unfortunate, but
anyway, you know, we digress. Sorry, this was a weird start to this show. But speaking of crazy people, so people are chaining up their kids now. This is a thing.
Yeah, apparently, and in California, a couple was caught with children ranging from, my God, young children.
Yeah.
All
From
the way
age 2 to
Was
age
it
29.
age 2 to 29, which
Yeah.
obviously, if you're over 18, you're not a child anymore. But
David and Louise Turpin.
is that what their name was?
Yes. Or the people, they had 13 kids.
13 kids.
Yes.
All of them chained up in the house.
Well, no, not several. I guess that was kind of a thing, but definitely being held in the house. Not being allowed to leave. Pretty much being captured and enslaved there. They're being charged with torture. I think they're both on, I want to say it was $9 million bond each.
Yes, that's correct. Yep,
Yeah.
$9 million.
This is a really deranged kind of story. I don't know if you've seen the videos of them renewing their vows every couple of years at the with the Elvis impersonator.
I saw that. Yep,
And
the
it's-
video of that.
Mhm.
It's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, and it's got all the kids. And I feel bad for the Elvis impersonator now because he looks like a total creep in these things, but he's playing a part, he's doing the
Yeah.
Elvis thing in Vegas, and I saw an interview with him later, and he looked really kind of like
What
just
am I
kind of
doing?
shocked and like, oh god, I can't believe that like the only videos of these people are with me singing to them, like I felt bad for him, and he was, and he kind of said like basically like, yeah, they seemed weird, but I don't think he thought. I think if he thought there was something criminal going on.
So they're a weird family. I mean,
Yeah.
there's plenty of weird families out
Weird
there
family
that
with
don't.
13 kids.
Yeah, that aren't partaking in any illegal activity.
Right.
Especially involving their children. I mean, I knew when I used to live in my old house when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
We had this weird family that lived behind us, and nobody ever suspected them of doing any wrong. I mean, in fact, they'd be the last people that you would suspect of any wrongdoing, which, in some sense, was maybe the reason behind this. Maybe this was the reason why they got away with it for so long. I'm talking about the couple in California,
Sure.
because they tried to project that image of a perfect family. I mean, they brought their kids out, to their wedding when they were renewing their vows.
Sure.
They dressed them all, in matching outfits, as lame as that is.
But people do stuff like that.
But people do stuff like that. Lame people do stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, no, they do.
And
It happens.
Reading
I hope
up
my
on-
sister's not listening. She always dresses her two boys in,
Oh, does she?
in the same costume. In the same costume, I said.
Sorry, Julie.
No, my nephews are awesome. But no. I mean, you got 13 kids.
Okay,
you dress
but
all the girls the same. You dress all the boys.
Yeah.
The same. It's weird, but people do stuff like that.
People do stuff
And,
like that.
They
yeah.
talked about how pale the kids were. Oh, they obviously never go outside. But I mean, let's face it. Are kids that never go outside, is that weird
Mhm.
in 2018? No,
No, it
not
seems
really.
like it seems like it's pretty normal.
Yeah.
now.
Do you know who I'm a little sick of seeing?
Who's that?
Have you seen their neighbor who is just like taking this woman who's just taking this obviously as like she's gonna make this her 15 minutes of fame.
I haven't seen that. no.
They keep showing her interviews and she just keeps talking to the press. And she keeps talking about how weird they were and how like we were cool, but like they gave off a weird vibe, so I just stayed away. And I feel like she should have some remorse here for some of this.
Mhm.
And I don't blame her, okay? I'm not one of these people that thinks you should go tattletaling to, the city or the government or the state every time you think somebody's weird or, I totally get the mind your own business thing.
Mhm.
I do. And I'm not saying that if I was her, I would have called anyone either. Because a lot of people are looking at her saying like, well, why didn't you do something about it if these weirdos were living next to you for the last decade? Why didn't you say something about it? When, you could have saved these poor kids, poor people from, torture and enslavement for, who knows how long. I don't blame her for it.
No, I don't blame her.
But
either.
I don't, but to her then to go out and say like, yeah, I thought they were weird, but I didn't want to say anything, like, I think if I was her, I'd have a little bit of remorse. I think I'd be saying like, crap, I guess I should have said something.
You know what?
Like
But
I didn't.
that's. I mean, that's. I mean, that's hindsight, though.
It is, but
I mean, that's the definition of hindsight.
it is.
And
But you could display a little remorse for your hindsight instead of trying to be like, "Yay! Now I get to be on TV."
Oh, sure, yeah.
You know, I mean, that's all I'm
absolutely.
saying. That like to me, like I think I would be displaying a little bit of that. I'd be like, "Listen, I feel like she owes us not a story of how I was living next to these weirdos. I think she owes us a little bit of explanation, and the explanation isn't much. Just like, hey, listen, had I had any idea that it was this bad or that it was like this, I would have called somebody, you know. But hey, I just thought they were kind of weird people, you know, and I didn't think anything was wrong with it. I feel like that's would be the smarter thing for her to be saying. I kind of equate her to the brother of the Vegas shooter. Remember that guy that just kept talking? You're like, it's not his fault. He didn't shoot anybody. There was no evidence that he had any knowledge of this or that he.
Is that the guy who eventually got busted for child porn?
It might have been.
I think he.
It might have been, but it was just like after his like third interview, I just remember hearing this guy thinking like, somebody's got to tell this guy to shut up. Like we're not gonna all of a sudden have sympathy for his brother.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like with this lady. It's like somebody tell this lady to shut up. Nobody wants her to be famous for being the chick that lived next door to the crazy family that enslaved their children.
I don't know. It seems like she's searching for a book deal or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and I just feel like just come out and say like, hey, crap, I didn't know. You know, I thought I had some weird neighbors, but they were polite. Had I known, I'd have called somebody. I'd have done something. Like, man, it's like, I don't know. For one thing, it's like, how don't you know? You know, like
it's tough. I mean, people obviously, people like their privacy.
They do,
and there's nothing wrong with that for somebody liking their privacy. I think in my neighborhood, we don't talk to a whole bunch of people. No. I mean, we talk to our one next door neighbor, but that's basically it. We don't do like the block party type of thing or anything like that.
I'm with you, Adam. I've never been a guy that's like,
It's just something that we don't do. I mean, usually we're busy doing other things anyway. Right. I hope they don't think that we're those weird people. And it's funny too because I think a lot of people on my block talk, and I'm almost certain they've myself and my wife have come up in those conversations at least a couple of times. Like, I wonder why they don't. Why don't they ever come to these parties, and why don't they ever do this or do that?
It seems to me too, Adam. Correct me if I'm wrong, but because a lot of times it used to be certain neighborhoods were kind of seemed like akin with each other. Like it seemed like a lot of neighborhoods, everybody was grown, was raising kids around the same age at the same time. But don't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem a lot younger than most of the people in your neighborhood. You and your wife?
I think so.
See, I mean, it seems like it to me. Like they're, you definitely seem on the younger side. You still have a little kid. Or I don't see a ton of little kids.
I mean, you know what? There's a couple of families behind us with little kids. Maybe my son's age and a little bit older, but. Again, though, I mean, it's just, and there's some people on our block too. I think that have younger kids, but we just this is not something that we do. We got our own thing going on. And if I don't know, I think that as far as that lady goes, I mean, hindsight is 20/20. Of course, when you look at a situation, when you find out how bad it's been, I mean, they're talking about, you said 2 to 29. Right. That's quite the gap.
And they said that even the police and the workers that came in, they're also malnourished.
Well, that one girl that they said reported everything that made the phone call.
They thought they were
17.
all kids.
Yeah, she was 17, and they thought that she was 10.
Yeah. Yeah, and same with they had no idea that the 29-year-old was 29. Yeah. They thought they were all minors, but as it turns out, they're not.
No.
So I was trying to do the math on that. So you got a 27-year gap.
How old were the parents?
Yeah, how old were they when they were having their last kid? I mean, I guess let's do the math. If you're 20 when you had
what's their name
kid,
again?
I guess you're having a kid at 47. Maybe they had it at 18 or 19.
I'm gonna try to find. I don't know if they.
Turpin is their last name.
I thought that
they look maybe old enough to have a 29-year-old, perhaps. But I just worth it. Man, they're having them. That's a big gap. 27 years.
I don't know how.
So they're having them. They started young and they're still going well into their late 40s having kids. I guess.
Much it's.
I guess it's doable. Yeah, I guess it's.
Well, you have like 20 kids. I mean.
Yeah, I do. No, I got a lot.
Okay,
But I was definitely done having, and people say my kids have a big span because I got a, almost 15-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Okay, so here we go. The father's 57, the mom's 49.
Okay. So she had a kid at 47.
Yes.
So she's got a 2-year-old.
Yep.
Unless we're going to find out that, because this is what I thought, and I hope this isn't the case, unless you're going to find out.
And 20 then.
Yeah, I hope I am dead wrong about this, and I hope this is just my mind going somewhere, but unless that 2-year-old, the mother of that 2-year-old, we find out is one of the is one of the kids. If there's some incest going on.
Wow.
I'm wondering that because I'm trying to do the math here, and
well, it's plausible. Okay, so she had a 47, so it's certainly plausible. When do women start going through menopause?
Yeah, I mean, 47 is doable. I mean, it's possible, and with way
Look at
things
us.
are now, but
okay, the average age of U.S. women at the time of menopause is 51.
yeah, no, I was going to say around early 50s.
You know what though? I mean,
I'm wondering that is total. That is a theorization.
I don't know. I don't know if something like that is still going to come out, but that's interesting that you bring that up, Josh, because it's. I'm sorry.
Nobody's saying that on the news.
No,
it's just something I thought of.
No, this is us leftist fake news people sitting here talking, just throwing stuff out there, and
right.
Okay, you know what? The type of people who sit there and chain up their kids to beds,
right,
from 2 to 29 years of age. Anything is on the table, you would think in this instance.
Right, you automatically assume what kind of abuse is going on here.
Yeah.
Is this an incest thing, a sexual abuse thing going on? I mean, we all know it's prevalent. It happens. So this is a nasty enough situation.
The thing that happened in Cleveland, I forgot the guy's name.
Yeah.
But when he had the 3 girls, I mean, one of them had a kid.
Right.
In
captivity.
captivity,
yeah.
And it was in that guy was the father.
Right.
Who had them locked up. So I obviously will have to hear more about this stuff as it starts to come out, but
and I know that they are, certainly portraying this as they're all their kids. And I don't know, it could be something if there's medical records of her. I don't know if she was, giving birth, doing the all natural thing, giving birth in the bathtub or something. I know they were, definitely into not leaving the house much. But if she actually had the kids in a hospital, then there's going to be record of it.
You know what's crazy about this too, Josh?
So that would settle that right then.
You know what's crazy about this too is that this couple had the gall to go out and bring these kids out.
Right.
In public.
Right, they did bring them out on occasion.
Yeah, which you would think with some of these older children and what the 17-year-old was able to do, they're bringing them to Disney World, they're bringing them to Vegas. And you have to expect that there's police officers there. There's authority figures there. And I kind of look at this as like back during the old Soviet Union when remember how the Red Wings got Fedorov?
Sure.
He defected. I think it was when the Red Army team was playing some games in Vancouver. I think that's when he's kind of slipped away and, got with the Red Wings, and, the rest from there was history. But
he's like disappear, run to an embassy or something.
Yeah, but I was thinking, some of the Cuban baseball players, same thing. They have a couple of games in Florida, and some of them would slip away and defect through there. But I was thinking to myself, I'm like, why wouldn't some of the older kids just go to a police officer or something to kind of slip away?
Sounds like they're chaining them up every night, though.
I know, but I'm talking about because they were out during the day.
It sounds like they never let them out without them.
Yeah. Well, you know what, too? Because
the neighbor who I was criticizing earlier, who I'm sure is a decent person, but the neighbor I was criticizing earlier kept saying that they were so quiet and that she knew that they had 13 kids from talking to them and seeing them once in a while, but that she always questioned. She's like, are there really 13 kids living there? Because you never see any of them. Mm-hmm. You never see this. So it was very, very sparse that they're letting them out of the house at all. And it sounds like they only let them out when they were with them and would go on a trip or whatever, go to Vegas and get their, but I mean, go to Vegas. Is there any place in the world easier to slip away than Las Vegas? I just, so it is strange, but hey, they got these kids brainwashed. They got them, we definitely don't want to blame the victims here. They obviously got these kids brainwashed. They're borderline malnutrition, or pretty much are malnutrition.
Not brainwashed to the extent where they wouldn't do anything to help themselves, because obviously they weren't brainwashed enough to prevent this girl from finding a phone, a deactivated phone, I guess it was. They could still call 911.
Yeah.
So
I have deactivated phones all over my house, so in case my kids need to call 911. It is a good idea for people out there, really. Whenever you have a phone, any deactivated phone will call 911, so it's a good idea. I have little phones charged up all over my house,
just in case.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
My kids are notorious. My older kids that have their own phones are notorious for not charging them. Mm-hmm. They're always dead. So it's like I
have a problem with charging my phone too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always forget, and it seems like my battery's constantly at 14%.
Right. No, it happens. It happens. But no, this was a crazy case. I know we're gonna learn more about it. It's just so creepy, if nothing else. And
it sucks that you still have to. It sucks that you have to see this, anytime. But I don't know.
The question I have
with in today's day and age, with social media and everything, just the amount of communication that we have. You would figure that, you wouldn't see something like this.
It's just, and I know these kids were homeschooled. I know they very rarely left the house, but I know people, good parents, regular people who have had CPS, had Child Protective Services out to their house before for the silliest reasons. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just like but then something like this where people have 13 kids, chained up in a bedroom somewhere for years, for decades, and they just slip under the radar, so it's just, I don't know.
It's like the person doing 100 down the highway. Where the fuck is a cop when you need it? Here I am, not pulling to a complete stop at a stop sign with when nobody's around, and all of a sudden a cop lighting me up.
I know. No, that is always the thing. Yeah, it's like I roll through a stop sign, cops got me, And my dad once got a ticket for not using his turn signal when he turned into his driveway. Our driveway. On the side street. He's turning into the driveway, and he didn't use his turn signal.
With nobody around.
Yeah, I vividly remember this. The cop pulls over. He's like, you should probably get out of this person's driveway, sir. This is my fucking house.
Status pigs.
Sorry, I don't normally swear on the show, but I was quoting my father. But It's just no. Yeah, it is. But then, yeah, you see somebody doing 115 down, down the freeway, and it's just like, they probably do that every day, and who cares? never get caught. But the thing that just bothers me, and I know there's no answer to this necessarily, and I know we've raised questions like this before on this show and elsewhere, but is the world just crazy now? I mean, are we just so sick and crazy and evil now? Or has stuff like this just always gone on and just went unchecked because we didn't have a 24-hour news cycle and social media?
I don't know. Tide has to come out and tell people not to eat their Tide Pods. So you know what, Josh? I think all bets are off.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I'm one of those like crazy. I know. See, I should say I'm the token libertarian on this leftist fake news website, but I'm one of those guys that, like, not only and they're talking about Tide getting sued potentially because people are eating Tide Pods when it actually says, it does say on there, like, they've covered their ass. It says on the package, don't eat these, basically.
You know what? If you want to eat Tide Pods, then do it.
Yeah.
Please do it.
Yeah, really.
Eat Tide Pods.
Yeah, I
if you're over a certain age and you want to eat Tide Pods, then please go ahead and eat the Tide Pods. Because you know what? If you're eating those Tide Pods and you end up dying, then
you know what, Adam? I'm totally with you, and I know this sounds like insensitive and just jerky. But really, for those of you out there that are daring each other to eat Tide Pods, I'm going to kick it up a notch. I double dare you to eat Tide Pods. In fact, don't eat a Tide Pod. If you eat one Tide Pod, you are a sissy. Eat the bag. If you can't eat the whole bag of Tide Pods, then screw you. Suck.
I just can't believe this. And what?
Right.
Should we have a disclaimer? No, don't really eat Tide Pods.
Yeah. I guess we should. We have to. I don't want to, but
don't really eat Tide Pods.
We're kidding. Everyone, don't eat. I'm actually one of those crazy small government libertarians out there that thinks that it's not Tide's fault, even if they didn't put it on the package. Like, I don't think Tide should have to put on their package, don't eat this.
You know what?
I think when you bought a thing called automatic dishwasher detergent pods, if you thought that was food, you know what? You go right ahead and eat it. And know what? Even if you start to eat the Tide Pod, like, maybe you really are that stupid. You thought it was food. You thought, okay, oh, look, it's kind of by the food section. It's in a grocery store. It must be food. I'll just get these Tide Pods. They look like a snack. If you take the first bite of a Tide Pod and don't instantly realize that ain't food, then it doesn't matter. Just spit it out. I mean, come on, spit it out. It was like, oh, crap, this wasn't food.
Kind of interested to taste a Tide Pod now.
Yeah, I'm kind of, let's do it. Why not? Get the Tide Pods out.
I have some in my house.
Do you?
I think so, yeah.
Maybe on the next episode, maybe we'll just go for broke and eat some Tide Pods. Back in the Detroit Growdy Radio days, we might have done this.
No,
might have just like maybe nibbled.
No,
the Tide Pod.
I'm sure that's probably how it started. I'm sure somebody probably came across an old Growdy episode where Squirrel or somebody ate a Tide Pod, and
I don't recall ever eating a Tide Pod on any of our early podcasts, but if somebody presented me with proof that we had eaten Tide Pods on Detroit Growdy Radio, I'd be like, okay, yeah, man, we might have. There's a chance we ate Tide Pods, or at least something just as dumb.
Yeah,
just as dumb. I know for a fact we didn't eat Tide Pods, but there's probably stuff we did that was just as dumb.
I don't think Tide Pods were around.
No, I don't think so. We ate Vegemite. That's got to taste just as bad as a Tide Pod.
Still have the Vegemite in my house.
Do you have that still?
Yeah.
Dude, throw that out. That's gotta
throw it out.
I mean, doesn't that have an expiration date?
I don't know. It's already. What is it? Is it the bottom? Is it the bottom shit that they scrape off of the?
Oh God, I remember doing Vegemite research. Back when we did this podcast years ago, that has definitely been those brain cells have been pushed out of my head by now.
I think I'd rather Tide Pod.
Yeah, Vegemite was like the worst tasting stuff I've ever.
I thought you liked it.
No. I think Nick kind of liked it, as I recall.
I think
I hated it. I was always the one that...
I think Nick said he hated it at first, but then kind of admitted that he didn't think it was bad.
Oh, gee. Yeah, I thought it was terrible. I thought Vegemite was terrible. I think I would rather eat a Tide Pod. But really, though,
that's why I'm all for assisted suicide. You know, if somebody wants to die, then by all means,
yeah,
let's let it happen.
Yeah, I mean,
you want to eat a Tide Pod? Go ahead, eat a Tide Pod.
Right? Yeah, no, please, eat a Tide Pod. But I want to take it past that though. If you're out there daring people, if you can eat Tide Pods, no, I don't. If you can't eat the whole bag, I mean, go big or go home, man.
I'd be cool if those parents in California ate Tide Pods.
That would probably be, that would be a decent punishment for them. Like, you have to sit here together and eat Tide Pods.
And polish off this bag of Tide Pods.
Yeah, until it's like whoever dies first from the Tide Pods
wins.
Yeah, wins, because we're going to shoot the other one. We're going to shoot the other one like 16 times.
See, that's where we differ. That's the libertarian. I'm not paying for these prisoners.
Well, I mean, shit, don't buy them any Tide Pods with government funds until after you've sold their house. I mean, that only makes sense.
How much do Tide Pods cost? I'm assuming they're probably a bag of Tide Pods. I bet.
I always buy
like
the
$10.
Brand X ones.
Do they have Brand X ones?
Yeah, for the dishwasher. Yeah, I always buy the Kroger brand, Meyer brand, whatever the Brand X.
I bet the Tide ones are like $10 a bag.
I don't. Yeah, they're not even that much for the small bag. No, they're not even that much. I just bought some the other day, but again, I always buy the Brand X ones. Why not? Same crap. Who cares?
I don't know if they taste as good. I'm trying to find out how much Tide Pods cost, and the only thing I come across now is
don't eat Tide Pods.
Don't eat Tide Pods. Yeah.
It's true. Yes, kids are eating Tide Pods.
I was right.
$10.
Yeah.
Is that for the big? Is that for like the crate or the bag?
These ones here, 42 count, $10.99.
Okay, yeah, that's like the hard plastic one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bigger one. You could get the bag.
Oh, bag here is $6.55.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying, like, I get the Brand X ones. I want to say they're like $4.55 or something.
Oh, but they don't taste as good though.
Probably not. Yeah, I don't. They probably don't.
Although, you know what?
If I was gonna, depends on what you're doing. You know, if you're just snacking at home, maybe the Brand X ones are fine. But I mean, if you're having people over or something, you should probably get the Tide brand.
Maybe fork over a couple of extra bucks.
I mean, Tide. That's like the caviar of dishwasher detergent pods. I wonder if anyone did just do the challenge and do like the Brand X one, and you know if that was if that caused problems for them, oh, that's bullshit, man. That wasn't a Tide Pod.
I'm gonna see if
that was Kroger brand. It was probably organic.
I wonder if they do have organic ones. Are there vegetarian ones?
I don't know. I think all the Tide Pods are vegetarian. Yeah, I think they're. Yeah, we should find out if they're vegan. Because you can't eat them if they're.
Well, if there's meat in them, then
yeah, no. If they're not vegetarian, Adam can't eat them.
Yeah. Let's see. Ocean Mist. I wonder. April Fresh or April Fresh scent.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just
Febreze odor defense. I wonder. I like Febreze.
Yeah, that's cool. I've never
Spring Meadow.
I've never tried Febreze either. It's probably tasty. I don't know.
I'm just not quite sure what flavor I want.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The ones I have, they're kind of like the soft ones with maybe it tastes all right. I've heard antifreeze tastes good. That's why you gotta hide it from your dog. Whatever, yeah. Because it
has like that sweet smell to it.
Yeah, the dog will just keep licking it up. It tastes good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I don't know.
Unscented. I'm assuming that's like eating plain yogurt.
Those would be gross. Yeah, who wants that?
Yeah.
Ugh. That's like when you get the mild cheddar cheese. It's like, no, you got to get the sharp. It's like, don't you like taste in your food?
I like the sharp cheddar.
Oh yeah, always. You're not a sharp cheddar guy?
I mean, I can do sharp cheddar. I usually go for a different type of cheese though.
Oh, okay. Right on. Well, hey, yeah, I shouldn't judge the Tide Pods yet. I don't know which one is the best tasting one, but yeah, if you want to eat Tide Pods, eat Tide Pods. If you came to this show to get talked out of eating Tide Pods, you came to the wrong place.
I think I'm gonna go with the Ocean Mist.
Ocean Mist?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. I wonder if they're salty because it's from the ocean.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be cool. All right. So, 1 year anniversary is coming up. Of,
we're gonna be getting a letter or something from.
Yeah. I hope so. Bring it.
We taking a court over.
Yeah, and we can just we can swear under oath. We can just be like, listen, people were eating Tide Pods before our dumb show came out. You can't blame us for the Tide Pods. Like, come on.
Be like Jaws when that one lady smacks Chief Brody.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't force feed anybody a Tide Pod.
But still, you let people eat Tide Pods.
You told people to eat Tide Pods.
Well,
all the further your show.
Well, this is a podcast.
It is. It is. This episode should probably be known as the Tide Podcast.
It's the Tide Podcast.
Yeah, it definitely should be. I definitely think it should be. Okay, well, at the rate we're going with this show, we probably won't be on air anymore for the second year of Donald Trump. But his first year, his 1 year anniversary of being president of the United States is coming up. I know Adam's excited about that, right?
Okay,
that means he's 25% of the way done.
Yep.
So, or maybe 12.5% of the way done.
Maybe.
Yeah, you never know. But
hoping for
the question I have for you, Adam, I know you hate Donald Trump. I know you hate him. I didn't vote for him either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, but his year's up. Has it been that bad? I mean, I know the media just hates Donald Trump. I know that a lot of people just really despise Donald Trump, but a year's up. It's 25% of the way down.
The fact that we're still here is good. I'm not so sure how that measures out to determining whether or not Donald Trump has had a good presidency, though. The fact that we are still here. I mean, that's still not saying much for the guy. I still think if the rest of his presidency is any indication, or if the first year is any indication on how the rest of his presidency is going to go, then surely he's going to go down as one of the worst presidents that we've ever had.
The tax cut he might be a decent one for the economy. I know that his tweets suck. I know that he's so polarizing. I know that so many people hate him, and I know people love him too. There's people out there listening right now saying like, "No, I love it." Yeah, but you can't deny that a lot of people are really pissed off and hate it. But I guess I didn't like Barack Obama, as you know. I thought he was a really lousy president. Actually, I didn't like him the whole 8 years. But then the 8 years, they came and they went. And is my life really that much better or worse? No. What's the difference? So I guess I'm just trying to make the same argument for Trump. It's like, who cares?
Well, you're saying that after 8 years of Barack Obama.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're just talking year one of Donald Trump. We're not talking 4 years of Donald Trump at the end of a term. We're not talking the end of 2 terms. We're just talking the end of 1 year.
No, you're right. No, for sure.
I don't know if we can sit here and make that determination. I mean, we can't make that determination.
I just feel like the people
because there's plenty of more damage that Donald Trump is still capable
I don't know
of
what
doing.
damage he's really done though, other than damage to his own character. You know what I mean? I feel like I know that the media has legitimate gripes against Donald Trump, and a lot of people have legitimate gripes against him. But I feel like we're griping about the same stuff now as we were when he was running for president.
I don't know if it's...
We're griping because we don't like him. Because he's being an a-hole all the time.
The thing, I know a lot of people like to rag on the media, but the thing about the media is is only reporting the stuff that Trump is doing.
I don't know if that's true. I think they have an agenda.
I mean, the tweeting the the stuff that is that the White House and his in his circle are knowingly lying about. I mean, all of that stuff is right there. I mean, this shithole thing is something that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous in the sense that they just can't own up to it. And the fact that his a lot of the people that supported him can't come out and just accept that that's something that he said. And if it's not something that he said, then why is it something that the White House didn't deny right then and there?
I know what you're saying, Adam. You're basically making the point that what is your talking point? What is your damage control talking point here? Is your damage control talking point he didn't say it, there's no proof that he said it, or is it I don't care that he said it? Because actually, I don't care which one you pick, but you ought to pick one. Mm-hmm. Because personally, I don't really care if Donald Trump called Haiti a shithole. Or some other countries. There actually are shithole countries.
Well, the thing is, Josh, is what he did. And this is I heard this argument before. I heard people saying, well, there's nothing racist about him calling Haiti or Africa shitholes. And I saw the memes up there that people were throwing out. Was this a shithole? And they showed the worst parts of Africa or the worst parts of Haiti. And I've seen it, we've seen it done here, Josh, before with Detroit. Yeah. We've seen people make memes out of the worst parts of Detroit. And yeah, the worst parts of Detroit are pretty bad.
They're shitholes.
But you know what? The worst parts of Chicago are pretty bad. The worst parts of New York are pretty bad. Mm-hmm. The worst parts of any big city are pretty bad.
Yeah, there is.
The part
or medium-sized city.
The part that made this a dog whistle to people of the alt-right was what he followed it up with. Why do we have to have all these people from these shitholes? Why can't we have more people from Norway? And if people can't sit here and make and connect the dots to that, then I give up. Because what's Norway?
Yeah, no, I know.
I mean, Norway is overwhelmingly white.
It is. I don't know. I'm having trouble making the. I think it's a dumb statement.
And you know what though, too, Josh?
I'm having trouble calling it racist.
Okay, you know what? If this was the first instance of him saying something like that, then you'd be like, oh, okay, you know what? That's a little. We'll go ahead and give him a pass. But this is one of take your pick of how many different instances where Donald Trump has said something that is very, very questionable in terms of, okay, is this guy a bigot? Is he? And I've said it before. I've said it before on this show that I was always hesitant to go and label somebody a racist or a bigot, because I thought that was a term that people tend to throw around.
Oh, they do
all the time.
But the left, especially.
But when it comes, well, we're a leftist fake news organization.
I know.
But when it comes to Donald Trump, I mean, how many times do we need to go over something like this, and actually have it be true?
I know what you're saying. Let me ask you another thing.
Go ahead.
And you've kind of already given your opinion on this, and it's fine, because I don't have an answer, really. But is the media telling the truth about Donald Trump?
In terms of...
Do people... Okay, for instance, his approval ratings, his polling numbers, his things such as this, where they want to tell you that he's polling lower than any president ever for his approval ratings and things such as this. Is that what they want to report because they don't like him? Or, I mean, are they telling the truth about that stuff?
I don't know.
Because we're gonna find out.
I mean, in 3 years. Go ask Quinnipiac. I mean, they're not a news organization. It's a university, so
university.
It would seem like the polling is pretty consistent.
I mean, because
with a Quinnipiac poll to a CNN poll or MSNBC poll. I mean,
yeah, I mean the universities aren't exactly known for being unbiased either.
Well, I'm sure. Did Fox News run a poll on them?
I don't know. But my question is, will people acknowledge? Because we're gonna find out. Because right now, they're reporting on these polls. They're telling us how angry the people are with Donald Trump as president. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, if they are telling us the truth about this, and these polls are accurate, and what they're reporting is accurate, then he's going to get his ass kicked in 2020. It doesn't matter who he runs against. I mean, he's going to get wasted. So are people then going to acknowledge that, yeah, the media is not telling the truth? Because if, at this point, even if he loses in a semi-close election, if he loses but still polls 44, 45%, then they're reporting the wrong thing. Then they are, in essence, lying to us. So I'm just anxious to see in 3 years. I'm probably going to waste my vote again and vote for, some goofy candidate that doesn't know where Aleppo is or something. But
one thing, Josh.
Sure.
Go to FoxNews.com.
For
some reason, they don't have. This isn't too up to date. This is back in late October.
Okay.
Approval rating 38%.
38%,
which is pretty consistent. I think he's ranged from 37 to 39% throughout most of these polls, and I think everybody can agree that Fox News has been pretty friendly towards
right.
Donald Trump.
And you can make the argument that whether it's Fox News or CNN or whomever, that they're just reporting these polls. Mm-hmm. But we do have to acknowledge that, because these polls said that he was going to lose the election.
Sure.
By a landslide.
Mm-hmm.
And these polls were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So if he wins re-election, or even is close, are we as a people at least going to be smart enough to say these polls are bunk, they're garbage, they're nonsense?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, the next election is going to tell a lot.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he's going to win
the
re-election?
Next election? Look,
I know it's just a guess. I'm not going to hold you to it. You can change your mind half a dozen times.
I know. Everything that I've seen, whether it be Donald Trump, whether it be Oprah Winfrey, whether it be, just everything that has happened this past year, and everything that Trump has gotten away with as president. I mean, you look back to Howard Dean, what sunk Howard Dean,
right.
Or the binders full of women gaffe that Mitt Romney had. I mean, you go back and you look at that and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, how did these guys?
How did Howard Dean's political career get ruined by a scream at the end of the of the Iowa? What is it? The caucus, or the primary? Is it the primary?
Caucus in Iowa.
Is it a caucus in Iowa? How could his political career be ruined after that? Yet Donald Trump disparages a war hero.
Right.
Talks about grabbing women by the pussy. Won't release his tax returns.
No, it's true. The rules don't seem to apply to him.
No.
I mean, you look back at the thing Mitt Romney said on tape. It was like on tape, like just a casual conversation about his basically about people not paying attention, or people not being intelligent enough to see the facts. Basically, is what he was implying. It was not that bad. The stuff he said it wasn't that bad. It was like I remember hearing Mitt Romney being like, "Oh, that doesn't sound good," since they caught it on tape. But I don't disagree. I didn't disagree with what Mitt Romney was saying. I was like, yeah, actually, I think he's right. I really do. I actually totally think he's right.
Yeah.
I don't. You can't talk like that when you're running for president, but he's right. And Donald Trump, he talked like that while he was running for president, and he won.
Yeah.
And he talks like that still, and he's still the president. So I don't know what to think about him. I don't know if he's gonna win re-election. You had mentioned before a few episodes ago, I think it was on air, that you think somebody's gonna try to primary him.
I think I said it off the air. But yeah, I do. I think somebody's going. I think he's going to face a primary.
Who do you think? Who do you think he's running against in the primary, if anybody? And who do you think he's running against in the general?
I think there's going to be a number of people actually that could end up primarying him. I don't think it's going to be somebody in the sense where they definitely have a political career in another 8 years. So I think you could throw out a guy like Marco Rubio. I think you could probably throw out a guy like Ted Cruz as well, because I think if you primary a sitting president in your own party, I don't know what that does for you.
For Ronald Reagan, it won him a nomination 4 years.
Well,
later.
I was going to say I don't know what that fully does for you in another 4 years.
Historically, especially recently, historically, it hasn't been a bad thing at all.
Okay.
I mean, because if you think about it. Who has done it recently? Pat Buchanan did it.
Okay.
And came close. The next 4 years later, he won New Hampshire. Mm-hmm. He actually did even better in the primary. Still didn't win it. Still didn't do it, but it definitely didn't kill him.
Did he primary George W?
George Bush Sr.
Oh, he primary George Bush Sr.
Yeah,
okay.
in 92.
Okay.
And he got something around, I'm throwing this out. It's not exact, but he got something like 48% in New Hampshire or something.
Okay.
He lost. George Bush still won it, but for a sitting president, he barely won it. And then 4 years later, when it was an open primary, he won New Hampshire. And he did all right. And then before that, you have Ronald Reagan who did it. He came close. He still lost Gerald Ford, showing how difficult it is to primary a sitting president. You're talking about Ronald Reagan, probably the most popular politician of the 20th century, going up against a very unpopular president in Gerald Ford, and he still couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. But he made the name for himself. 4 years later, he comes in and he then defeats a sitting president with another very difficult thing to do with not too much difficulty.
Yeah, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong in that sense. So maybe you do see a guy like a Marco Rubio,
a younger guy like Rubio, who still wants to make a name.
Yeah, or a Ted Cruz do something like that. I think definitely Marco Rubio is going to run again, whether it's in another 3 years or whether it's another 8 or 7 years. Especially since he was the one too that was making a big deal about expanding that child tax credit. When they were trying to hammer out the new tax deal. I think that's one of the things that he's going to run on is, hey, I was trying to get more money for you guys. Yeah. But I think Ted Cruz is another guy that could possibly not so much be a primary guy because it seemed like he was, well, in the beginning, he was definitely friendly with Donald Trump. At the end there, it certainly wasn't the case.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I think he could be around at some point. Two guys, though, on the Republican side of things that I do think are probably going to be throwing their hat in the mix here in another 3.5 years or 3 years. Mm-hmm. One of them's John Kasich. I think he's probably a shoo-in.
Statist pig.
And I think it's going to be a bipartisan ticket, too, with him and the governor of Colorado.
God.
Another one is, I think, Mitt Romney.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
I think Mitt Romney's going to primary him.
I don't think we've seen the last of Mitt Romney. I think he could if he wanted to. I'm not sure that he knows if he wants to yet. Mm-hmm. I actually think he actually doesn't want to. I think he's being pushed to, and there's a very good chance he's going to run for Senate. Because
remember, I think he is going to run for Senate,
and he's going
to win.
He's going to win it easily. Yeah. Take Orrin Hatch's old seat, mm-hmm. And if he does that, he would be by far in a better position than anyone to primary Donald Trump.
Sure,
that definitely could happen. That'll piss off the Trumpkins big time. Mm-hmm. But that's you're not trying to win them over.
thing
Trump's
is-
got his base, and they're gonna support him.
The thing is, too, and I get your opinion on this, Josh, but when you had Gerald Ford and Ronald Reagan going at it in a primary, I mean, you had two. Could you say that they were traditional Republican guys? I know Reagan was a Democrat at one point,
A long time ago.
but
Yeah,
Democrat then was a lot different than the Democrat now.
no, it's and that's the thing that people love to say that about Ronald Reagan. Well, he was a Democrat before. He was a Democrat a long time before
Yeah.
he ran for president.
Yes.
He had served 8 years as the Republican governor. A lot of people think that because you hear that so much
Yeah.
that Ronald Reagan used to be a Democrat, they think he was a Democrat when he was governor of California. No, he was not. He was Republican when he was governor of California. Before that, he hosted a talk show, not too dissimilar from Rush Limbaugh's show, where he was a Republican. He wasn't as obnoxious as Rush Limbaugh, but he hosted a radio show where he was a conservative.
Mm-hmm.
He was a liberty-loving, a libertarian conservative kind of type of guy, honestly. So this idea that, he used to be a Democrat, like in the 40s, okay? In the 40s and 50s, he was a Democrat when he was an actor.
And again, the party was, I'm assuming, was a little different back then, too.
He was really just a Democrat because he was an FDR supporter in World War II. And really, a lot of people were, okay? A lot of people supported FDR throughout World War II.
Your favorite president.
Yeah, my buddy. New Deal. Yay.
But, okay, if that's
Captain Alphabet Soup.
If that's the case, then what kind of support is Mitt Romney going to get if he decides to primary?
I don't know.
Going up against a guy who's already had questions before on whether or not he's a Republican.
Sure.
And a guy that I'm sure a lot of Republicans still on the Hill would love to get out of office.
Yeah. No.
And replace with a guy like Mitt Romney, who's as an establishment guy.
I think Senator Mitt Romney is basically the only person, and I say Senator Mitt Romney knowing that he is not a senator there yet, but that he would have to be that first. He'd have to have everything in his past and also be Senator Mitt Romney. I think he's the only person that would have even the littlest bit of a chance, and I still think he loses.
You do?
I do. I still think he loses to Trump in the in the primary.
Why do you think it's so hard for something like that to be overtaken, especially in this case when we have a guy like Donald Trump?
When you're in the primary, you have your party voting for you, whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats. You have your party voting for you, and people are going to be very leery about causing problems within their own party that will result in them losing the general. So they're going to not want to give Mitt Romney the time of day. Or anybody else. They're going to be saying that, hey, we hold the presidency right now. You're rocking the boat. You're screwing it up. Yes, maybe I do like Mitt Romney better than I like Donald Trump. Trump's got his base, too. You're not converting those guys. Mm-hmm. You're not converting a good chunk of the Republicans away from Trump at this point. But even the ones that are going to say, yeah, know what? I would have liked Mitt Romney, but know what? Why didn't you run last time? Where were you 4 years ago? Now you're out, and now you're trying to rock the boat. Now you're trying to screw up the works. And we don't need a monkey wrench in this thing when we hold the presidency. And we're scared of Hillary, or we're scared of Oprah, or we're scared of whoever else is out there. And all you're doing is weakening the president. All you're doing is weakening our party by dividing us. Because you are dividing. I mean, I think most Republicans in 1976 probably on paper, and maybe even in their mind, if they really looked at him, liked Ronald Reagan more than they liked Gerald Ford.
Has anybody ever beaten a sitting president in a primary? Has that ever happened before?
No.
No?
But I can keep in mind, primaries are not something that's been going on since 1789.
Okay.
That's something that comes about in the... Well, they've changed, but, that the idea of the primaries doesn't come around until the 1920s. So there really hasn't been that many even try, and or have. There's always somebody trying. So people could say, "What are you talking about?" I mean, people technically tried against George W. Bush, but you don't even know their names. It's not like a huge deal it's to have someone actually run a nationwide primary campaign against the sitting president. Now LBJ stepped down, and one of the reasons he stepped down is he thought he was going to get primaried by Bobby Kennedy, and a lot of people thought he would have lost that. He might have. Yeah, we don't know. We have obviously no way of knowing that for several different reasons. Bobby Kennedy ends up getting shot, and LBJ stepped down. So there's questions there. Truman stepped down in 48. Or I'm sorry, in 52. He won in 48, but he could have ran again in 52, and he acted like, no, I'm going to step down. I've been here, because he served a term and a half, or more than a term and a half. So he said, no, technically, I am grandfathered in. I could run again, but he'd have got wasted. He wouldn't have beat somebody if they primaried him, and he certainly wouldn't have beat Eisenhower. So that was kind of like him saying, oh, no, I'm going to step down. Everyone's like, yeah.
Stepping down because you're about to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, exactly. Like you couldn't be elected to dog catcher in your hometown. So I mean, hey, if I'm wrong about that, I do apologize. I don't think I am, though. I do not think I am that's happened with anyone. There has been weird things like that. I mean, there has been FDR's VP stepped down because he didn't like that he was seeking a third term. That he then ran against him, third party. So, I mean, there has been some strange things like that, but no, it's very hard to, at this point, you could even say it's been proven impossible thus far, but it can be done, and some guys have come kind of close.
Yeah, and I think I'm not going to be surprised at all if Donald Trump gets primaried. He's obviously a very.
I bet somebody's going to try.
Yeah, I mean he's a polarizing president.
There comes a point where a party has to, by doing that, they're at least kind of, even if they don't want the guy to win, if they don't want the new guy to win, you just kind of to save face with some of it. And I think that's why Reagan didn't quite receive the backlash for doing it, because a lot of people said, well, Gerald Ford wasn't even elected. So it's kind of okay that he's doing this. And, Pat Buchanan, he was kind of known as the jerk, but it kind of almost worked for him.
Well, you look at it, if you want to look at it in a different light, Josh, Gerald Ford wasn't primaried. But he ended up getting beat by, it was Jimmy Carter, right?
Correct.
So he was close. If somebody primaries Donald Trump and
George Bush Sr. lost that election too.
And he lost it, yes. Could you equate that more so to Ross Perot being in the election though, as opposed to Bill Clinton? Really,
you could. I mean, somebody like Pat Buchanan or somebody like Ronald Reagan could have ran as an independent at that time and really screwed up the works. Also, one could argue though that because Gerald Ford and Jimmy Carter's election was so close, it was a very close election, one could argue that if Ronald Reagan hadn't have done that damage to Gerald Ford by primarying him, does that turn the tide, and does Gerald Ford possibly win that election against Jimmy Carter?
It's kind of like
it's close and damage was done.
It's kind of like the Bernie Sanders Hillary Clinton thing from this year. Bernie Sanders not getting out of the race is as quick as Debbie Wasserman Schultz probably would have wanted him.
Sure,
but they're saying, oh well, that could have done a lot of damage to Hillary Clinton in her campaign. I think there was a lot more to it than just that, but the point can be made on both sides when it comes to that, or the point can be seen in multiple places, multiple elections in different years. if that's the case, then I think the Democrats need to have a good candidate still.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think you can rely on a primary or a sitting president being primaried. I think you need a good candidate to put up there, and a candidate that you need to take a look at the last election, not rely on that quote unquote blue wall.
And maybe quit trying to think of new and creative ways to impeach the guy in there. Maybe grow your platform, get some decent candidates, and beat him in 3 years.
I think you do. I think that they're gonna have quite a few different candidates. I know Oprah's getting a lot of press right now, and you know what? Oprah very well could run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anybody that is throwing that out is nonsense. Look who's president right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's no argument out there that anybody could make that wouldn't justify Oprah running for president.
Oh, I think they're crazy not to run her.
I mean, is Oprah less qualified than Donald Trump to be president of the United States?
I mean, not at the onset. The only reason she will be in 3 years is because
Donald Trump has already served for 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, listen, Oprah's going to get more popular support than Hillary. I just am scared that
she doesn't have the baggage that Hillary does.
Oh, certainly. Nobody has the baggage that Hillary does. But the problem is that Hillary might just steal it again like she did last time.
You think Hillary's going to run again?
I do. I think she wants to.
I don't
whether or not she's kept from running,
mm-hmm.
or whether or not she does, I can't say that.
I don't think she will.
But I mean, I think she's old, and I don't think she's that well physically, and I think she's a terrible candidate. I can't imagine that they would want her to, but I think she still wants to be president, and I think she is right now working hard to maintain that and to become the next candidate.
Uh-huh.
I don't know that she will. I think the Democrats would be crazy to run Hillary. And I will say this. I know I've said this before off air. I believe I've said it on air. I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but if it's Trump versus Hillary, like I said, I'll probably, waste my vote again on, whoever the big L libertarians throw out or something silly like that. But
wait, who's that one guy you like? Austin something? Oh wait, no, who was it?
Oh geez, I can't remember his name. I know you're talking about. Was Austin? I think Austin was his last name, wasn't it?
Was it Austin? His last name?
I don't remember.
Or was the virus guy gonna run again?
Okay, do you know what I'm scared of though? Oh, McAfee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a little. He's a little loopy, but hey, he had some kind of cool stuff to say though. Okay, do you know what I'm afraid is going to happen?
What's that?
Okay, the Republicans are going to have Trump, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats are going to run Oprah, and do you know what the freaking Libertarians are going to do? They're going to run Penn from Penn and Teller.
What?
That's what they're talking right now.
Really?
That's the skinny on the Libertarian site.
I thought they're gonna run like Vince Vaughn or something.
No, they want to run that Penn guy.
Penn and Teller.
Well, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. What's his first name?
Hold on.
Of Penn and Teller.
I know Penn and Teller.
Kind of the fat one of that.
They're magicians.
They're like a magician comedy act, yeah. But he's like a
Penn Jillette.
Yeah, Penn Jillette. They want to run this guy, and it's like, okay, so what? So the Republicans and Democrats aren't running real candidates anymore. So you're not
here
going
he
to
is. Wow.
Yeah, he's
Gillette speaking at the 2016 Young Americans for Liberty National Convention.
Yeah, so Penn Jillette, I think he's funny from time to time.
Is he an atheist?
Yes, he is an atheist, big time atheist. And hey, I will admit this too. I was actually gonna get into this.
Mm-hmm.
For one thing, I don't feel like voting for a celebrity. That's why I threw my vote away last time.
Mm-hmm.
Is because of that. I didn't feel like voting for a reality star, and I didn't feel like voting for a criminal, so I voted for Gary Johnson. But I don't feel like jumping on the libertarian side when they're going to run goofy celebrity
So you're
too.
just gonna withhold your vote?
Yeah, probably. Especially, I mean, I think my mantra is going to be if it is Donald Trump versus Oprah Winfrey, and I don't even hate Oprah. I really don't.
Mhm.
I actually respect her in a lot of ways, but I think my mantra is going to be spare me this mockery of democracy. I really think that is going to be my mantra. I really,
You know, maybe Evan McMullin will run again. Would you vote? Would you throw your hat behind Evan McMullin?
maybe. I guess I don't know.
There's a
Sure.
guy. There's a guy that could primary Donald Trump.
Yeah,
Evan
except
McMullin.
I mean, he seemed so promising, but then he couldn't even win his own state.
Yeah, he got in really late though.
Yeah.
I mean, really late.
I was unimpressed with.
like, I'm surprised that he was even allowed to
Yeah.
to start. You know,
Well, he was only on the ballot in a handful of states.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was unimpressed with the hype behind him. But not only do I not want to vote for Penn Jillette because I don't need to vote for some goofy celebrity again or somebody who's only famous for what they did that has nothing to do with politics, but I will admit this too. I am a very libertarian guy. I'm not crazy about voting for an atheist.
no.
No, I'm really not. I'm not. I don't have a problem with atheists. You have the right to be atheist. It is a choice, so I'm not being intolerant by saying that I'm not a huge fan of atheism.
Are you afraid of their of morality in office or anything?
To
like
some
that?
degree. To some degree, yeah. I'm not crazy about somebody being the most powerful person in the world who believes that there's no higher power. And I also am just not crazy about somebody who is an atheist ruling over a country that is largely not atheist.
Mhm.
I mean, I would have zero problem voting for someone of a faith that's not mine. You know, I mean, I don't care about that. I would never have any problem voting for somebody who is, you know, religious or not religious in some sort of faith, but someone that just goes out of their way to say, no, there is no God, and the idea of God is ridiculous, and people who believe in God are ridiculous. And I know that not all atheists say that, but Penn Jillette does.
Mhm.
You know, Penn Jillette does, you know, make that claim. I'm not crazy about that. I'm really not. I don't, I'm not a big fan.
That's fine.
You know, doesn't mean I never would. You know, I would never say never. In Penn Jillette's case, I don't have a problem saying it because I have zero desire.
Penn Jillette was going up against Trump. Would you vote for Penn Jillette?
No,
No.
I don't think I would.
No.
I really don't. And same with, I'm not voting for Oprah either. And like I said before too, you know, if it's Trump versus Hillary, I hope Trump wins, just because the Constitution provides us with term limits, and I'd rather have 4 more years of Trump than 8 years of Hillary. So just because of that.
Again, I really don't think Hillary's going to run. I mean, looking at the possible rundown of Democratic candidates for president, I don't know if it's going to be quite as extensive as the Republican side was this past presidential election, but I think you're looking at a few different people, a few different candidates that could be serious
On the Democratic side?
Yes, serious contenders for.
Think Bernie's done?
I can't see Bernie running.
He's an
again.
old man.
I know. Yeah, he is. Same thing with Joe
He'll be
Biden.
78.
Yeah, same thing with Joe Biden. I can't see Joe Biden running again. You know, it's possible. I mean, you never know. I think Kirsten Gillibrand. I think that she could possibly run. I think Elizabeth Warren
Yeah, I was going to say
is
Elizabeth
probably
Warren.
going to run. She's going to be the same age as Donald Trump is right now, I believe, when it comes around.
70 is the new 60, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, we went into this election with whether it was Trump or Hillary, either one of them were going to be the oldest president.
I think Andrew.
take
I think
office.
I think Andrew Cuomo could run. I think
Bloomberg?
Bloomberg. I don't think is going to run.
No.
No. I think your big three right now, though. Your big three aside from Oprah, because I do think Oprah's probably going to throw her hat in there. I don't know how she'll do or anything like that, but the big three is probably... Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say the big four. It's probably going to be Elizabeth Warren, Kirsten Gillibrand, Kamala Harris, and Cory Booker. Those are probably
so
going to
big
be...
four aside from Oprah and aside from Hillary.
Yeah, well, Hillary's not running. I don't think Hillary's going to run. But aside from Oprah, I think that those four right there are going to be their four big ones on the ticket.
I'm not saying you're wrong, Adam, but make no mistake about it. Hillary Clinton is running for president right now, as we speak. The wheels are in motion. She is, if there's a chance, she's still in it. She wouldn't be out doing this book tour and, out saying what she's saying if she didn't still want to be president of the United States.
Well, you know what? Hillary Clinton needs to do the Democratic Party a favor and not run.
Yeah, I agree.
Not run.
I agree.
I mean, look, obviously you had your opportunity twice. First time you're beat by Barack Obama. Second time you're beat by Donald Trump. And if you were beat by Donald Trump, that's a good indication. And I know she won the popular vote. I know that, it's become one of those things that...
Sure. And the thing is with her, too, is that she was, even when she started running, even when she ran against Obama that first time, she was kind of late to the party then. People were talking about the Hillary Clinton run for president while Bill was president.
No, I remember.
I mean, they make a joke about it, and I was watching Die Hard with a Vengeance a couple of weeks ago. They make a joke about her being the next president. Oh, yeah. In that movie, it's late 90s.
I think you need to... Look, you do the party a big favor, and... Because her problems aren't going away. I mean, the problems that she had this year, or this past cycle, this past season, they're still going to be there in another 3 years. None of that is going anywhere.
Oh, for sure.
They're still going to bring up the emails. They're still going to bring up the Benghazi thing. They're still going to bring up the Bill stuff.
Oh, she has new scandals coming out, monthly.
All that stuff is going to be there. Still.
Yeah. She's a terrible candidate.
And you know what? I don't know if she'd be able to learn from her mistakes, but if you're that candidate and you can't win Michigan, you can't win Pennsylvania.
Right.
I'm sorry, but
time to go.
It's time to move on to somebody else. It's time to move on to a Cory Booker. It's time to move on. If you want to, I mean, there's gonna be plenty of female candidates in there that deserve their shot. Kamala Harris probably deserves her shot. Elizabeth Warren, for as much as people probably don't like her on the right, probably deserves a shot at this as well.
Sure.
Certainly over Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. No, she's pushed enough people out of
exactly
out of potential running time as it is. But with that being said, how many times has somebody lost the popular vote, then ran 4 years later and lost? Never.
Yeah.
Anytime
somebody... When Al Gore wasn't running again.
Yeah, Al Gore didn't. He broke the cycle by not. He didn't run.
Yeah.
But anytime somebody has lost the popular vote and then tried again 4 years later, they have won. No, they've won.
Oh, they've won
every time.
Oh, really?
Yes, every single time.
But it's only happened like 3 times, though, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think Grover Cleveland did it.
And he won. Okay.
Yeah, Grover Cleveland lost to Benjamin Harrison, but won the popular vote. 4 years later, he ran and won.
So he beat Harrison.
Yeah, and Andrew Jackson ran against John Quincy Adams, won the popular vote, lost the election. 4 years later, wins in a landslide. And you can also make it was done electorally a little bit different, but the only other one that's out there is Jefferson over Adams, and same thing. Jefferson 4 years later defeats Adams. Every time that's happened, they've come around and won, which is why why didn't Al Gore run? He was crazy. He probably maybe he would have won.
This is too important of an election. It's going to be too important of an election.
Yeah, we need reality stars. We can't in this election.
It's going to be too important of an election to be hung up on past
Do you know what I would love to
mistakes.
see?
What's that?
I would absolutely, positively love to see. They still won't win, by the way. I mean, this isn't me predicting that this would be a win, but I think it would be good for the country overall, and I would just love to see it. If we have Donald Trump with the R next to his name and Oprah Winfrey with the D next to her name running against each other, and the parties are all in a tizzy and they're fighting with each other, I would love to see the Libertarian Party draft either Rand Paul or Justin Amash. I know they're both Republicans at the moment, but if you have two TV stars running against each other, I would love to see the Libertarian Party, or the Green Party for that matter, whomever, I would love to see them draft an actual candidate. And I would love to see one of these guys, one of those two guys in particular, who actually have held office and have done good things, jump from the Republicans and run Libertarian. They won't win. I'm not predicting that they'll win. And you can say, oh, they'll give the election to Oprah, they'll give the election to whomever. I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they will.
We see this is. I mean, this is. I haven't been a guy to rag on the media. I think I'm a guy that would rather not do that. But when Donald Trump sits here and blasts the media, I was always thinking to myself, I'm like, why are you getting mad at the media, Trump? The media is one of the big reasons why you are president.
Right.
They're one of the big reasons why you didn't have to go out there and raise a bunch of money and spend a bunch of money, because your campaigning was done on MSNBC, on CNN, on Fox, on ABC. You didn't have to do anything. I mean, especially during the primaries. I mean, was Jeb Bush or Rand Paul or Lindsey Graham or John Kasich, Ted Cruz getting the amount of coverage that you were getting?
Nope, not at all.
I mean, you need to be thanking the media in that sense that you got as much coverage as you did.
Yeah,
I think that that's going to be another big problem if Oprah were to win the Democratic nomination, and if Oprah were to be running against a bunch of other Democrats. I mean, you're going to see a lot of the same things happen, except on the Democratic side of things, in 3 years, if Oprah were to run. I mean, it's going to be...
Well, and it's not like the Republicans can say she's unqualified.
Exactly. But Cory Booker, Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren, Andrew Cuomo, they're going to have a hell of a time. Kirsten Gillibrand, they're going to have a hell of a time trying to get airtime if they're going up against Oprah Winfrey.
She owns her own television network.
Yeah. Now I'm hoping, well, so did Bloomberg too, but that didn't help him a whole lot on the Republican side of things. But I'm hoping that the Democrats learn, and especially too from their own mistakes.
Yeah. If Oprah runs, she's winning this thing.
I'm hoping, and look, I'm not saying that Oprah shouldn't run. If Oprah goes out there and runs a solid campaign with some good base to it, then you know what the people are going to decide, and the people are going to, much like they did with Donald Trump.
Do you know what else needs to be said too?
What's that?
When it comes back to possibly primarying Donald Trump. If this wants to be taken seriously, and if anybody wants a chance at taking him down, and I know that a lot of people don't want there to be a chance that Donald Trump is taken down, but if there wants to be a chance, they need somebody to primary Donald Trump. They do not need 6 people to primary Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, are you saying they need
a Democrat candidate? No, I'm saying a Republican to primary him.
Okay.
They need a candidate.
So you think it would be better for the Republicans that want him out, or want
right? Yeah, no, that want him out. If there's going to be a chance at unseating Donald Trump on the Republican side, you need to have one person running in a primary. one strong candidate. If it's half a dozen guys and they all say, no, we're all running against Trump, then the same thing is going to happen that happened last time. There's going to be a Trump vote and an anti-Trump vote, and the anti-Trump vote will be spread across 6 candidates. Or however many candidates.
No, you're right. Nice. I definitely, and that's
the only chance is Mitt Romney or
John Kasich
or Rubio. No. That they run and it's just them. If it's more than one, and they don't have the sense to drop out and rally around, because he has to be the non-Trump candidate.
No, Josh, that's an excellent point, because again, Donald Trump goes and rails on about how we beat 15 candidates in the Republican primary. 50 that's one of the best things that could happen to him.
Right.
Because you're 100% right. The vote was spread out against amongst all those candidates, and you had one vote for Trump, or one part of the party voting for Trump, and that helped them.
Yeah, it did.
That helped them. But no,
these guys just wouldn't drop either.
No, they wouldn't. You're absolutely correct. That's something that needs to happen. If it's Mitt Romney or John Kasich or Marco Rubio, whoever, it needs to be one guy. You're absolutely correct. Yeah. No, it's a great point.
Do you know who else would make a great president? He's not eligible.
You?
Yeah. that goes without saying. But you know who would make a great president? He's not eligible because he's from Coruscant. Is Obi-Wan Kenobi? You seen those trailers, bro?
I haven't.
Have you seen the Kenobi trailer?
I haven't.
Dude, the Kenobi movie is going to rock.
Who's playing Kenobi?
Ewan McGregor.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah. No, it's that's gonna rock, man. No, I'm really looking forward to it. There's Liam Neeson rumors.
Oh.
There's in fact, from what I heard, Liam Neeson said he'd do it.
For Qui-Gon, huh?
Yeah. I don't know.
It makes sense.
Yeah, if it's either, him as a spirit or a flashback or...
Well, is it going to be Kenobi after?
Yeah.
Okay.
In between 3 and 4.
Okay.
So he's chilling on Tatooine. He's learning how to become one with the Force. He's watching over Luke. So Ewan McGregor's age is right.
Kind of watching Netflix.
Yeah. I mean, everything's good. He's, just kind of...
catching up on some Hulu.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. Pretty much.
Do they have Hulu on Tatooine?
I bet they do. Yeah. Because I bet their cable sucks. So
on
I bet
Tatooine?
Yeah. So you gotta probably really gotta go out on your own, get some Hulu, get some PlayStation View or something.
Did they have state media? I'm assuming throughout the Empire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, I wonder if they had a
lot of propaganda videos about Vader.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. There's books written about this.
Is there?
Oh yeah. This is maybe not canon, but it's definitely legends. But yeah, dude, I am so psyched about the Kenobi movie. And as a Star Wars geek, I know we're shifting gears into Star Wars to wrap up the show here, but
what caught your eye?
This is the one I've been wanting them to do. This is just the one that the teaser trailer is just a teaser. There's not much to it yet, but this is just the one I've been wanting them to do.
So this is the one between the Sith, Revenge of the Sith, and A New Hope.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And release-wise, it will come out a year after Episode 9. Because so far, I don't know if the Han Solo movie is going to be any good.
I'm not looking forward to it.
But it might be. Rogue One rocked. The Saga movies are, they're all right. But I'm digging these Star Wars stories movies so far. There's only been the one. Han Solo might be cool. I don't know how much they can do with it. But this Kenobi one, this is the one I was really wanting them to make.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to rock, man. I really do. And it just kind of like Episode 9, I don't care. I don't really care about Episode 9. I want Kenobi. That's the one I want. That's going to rock, I think.
I was a little skeptical of this one just because given the setting, given the circumstances. I mean, how thrilling, how interesting can a movie about Ben Kenobi sitting on a very boring planet, a desert planet in Tatooine be?
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll find a way to incorporate some action, but there isn't like a ton of action.
I mean,
here,
I would love. I mean, still, there's different aspects.
Maybe
that
you'll
can
mess
make-
up some sand people.
Yeah, exactly. There's different aspects that can make this interesting.
Mhm.
For instance, the Sand People are one that could,
Mm-hmm.
and Kenobi definitely has some knowledge of the Sand People as far as their formations and everything, which we learn
Right.
about in The New Hope. I'll be interested to see if they do anything with the Hutts, though.
Yeah. Oh, I bet they will.
I would
I bet
love.
they
I would love to see a bigger aspect of the Hutts because
Oh, you're gonna see that.
Jabba, especially obviously in Return of the Jedi, I mean, he played a big role, and
Mhm.
he was an interesting bad guy in that sense, and obviously it's something that Han Solo has always talked about as well.
They're talking about a Jabba the Hutt movie.
I love
eventually,
and
too.
I'd like to see a Jabba the Hutt movie.
Talking about a Jabba the Hutt, a Boba Fett, and a Vader. Potentially. None of those are official.
A
But
Vader one would be
it'd
sweet.
be sweet.
Oh
Just
my
Vader
God.
killing all the random Jedi that are still hanging around.
Yeah, Vader, especially if they go the same route that they did in Rogue One with
Yeah,
it.
it'd be awesome. Be awesome. And it's cool because anybody can play Vader. It's a suit.
Yeah.
You know?
God, we need James Earl Jones to hold
Yeah.
out here.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool, but even if James Earl Jones can't do it, somebody else can do the voice. It'd be better if it was James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
But you know. But anyway, this Kenobi one I think is gonna rock. And I came up with a new theory about why people dislike 7 or why people dislike 8. And this is from talking to a lot of nerds. I know a lot of Star Wars.
You're
nerds.
talking Force Awakens and
The Last Jedi.
Okay.
And
Do you still like the Last Jedi?
I liked it.
Do you still like it?
I still like it.
Okay. Did you see it again?
No, I've seen it twice. I liked it, but I don't like what they did with the whole saga. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like the direction they took at all with The Force Awakens and with the whole saga. So, I mean, Last Jedi,
There's only so
I dug
much
the
you can
movie.
like.
Yeah, I mean, how much can you like a sequel to a movie you disliked?
Mhm.
You know? So I liked it. I still like it. But what I'm finding is, because I know some people that actually liked Force Awakens, which I don't know how you like The Force Awakens, but that liked The Force Awakens, so I just assumed they'd like The Last Jedi, and then I talked to them, they're like, oh no, I hated Last Jedi. And they're like, really? So you liked Force Awakens and disliked Last Jedi? It doesn't make sense. But then I came to realize that I think the people that loved Luke Skywalker hate The Last Jedi. And the people that loved Han Solo hate The Force Awakens. And I think it's a lot to do with them taking a character that you wanted to do so much and killing them off and just not having them fulfill what you wanted them to fulfill. Han Solo was always my favorite character as a kid. And so
Didn't Luke have much more of a meaningful death, though?
he did. Yeah, I thought so.
Than Han Solo.
Yeah, I
did?
was okay with Luke's death. I still feel like, oh, crap, we never got to see Luke mess anybody up, though.
Mhm.
We still didn't really ever get to see Luke be Luke. So, you know, I mean, in the books and in the legends and stuff like that, the whole Legends type series that they've, you know, classified as, you know, EU or whatever you want to call it, Luke is just such a badass after Return of the Jedi. I mean, this is the young guy who came in, he kills Darth Vader, he brings down the Empire, and he's just, you know, he's got the Skywalker blood, he's trained by Obi-Wan, trained by Yoda, and the guy's just incredible, and he does these amazing Force feats and just becomes this amazingly powerful Jedi and just does so many cool things. And they just kind of wreck that in The Last Jedi, you know?
Seems like the theme, though, with these new Star Wars.
Right, it does. So, it is what it is, you know? But anyway, I can't wait for that. We got a news section tonight, right?
We do.
Hey, before we jump into the news section, I want to tell everybody, too, if you missed last week's episode, our Deep Issues episode on Scientology, check it out. It was a cool one. I thought it was a good one. You thought it was good, right? Scientology last week?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I thought it was cool. So if you can, check it out. Webisode number 69 on Scientology was cool. We got one coming up on aliens at the end of the month. And, you know, It was cool. We, and so much we said so much about Scientology. We missed a lot too. Do you know something we didn't talk about last week?
What's that?
Adam, was the anonymous aspect. The group
With Scientology?
The group Anonymous, we know now, kind of made its name for himself by being a
Scientology.
an anti-Scientology movement, basically. And Scientology's been exposed since then, and Anonymous has grown into something kind of a little different now. But that's something we didn't mention last week. That
I'd love to get somebody from Anonymous on the show, but I'm terrified in the same same sense.
Yeah, what are they going to do to our servers?
Yeah, I want to get somebody on, but I'm nervous.
We should be scared.
I don't want to do anything to piss them off.
Yeah, we should be scared of Scientology for what they do to us, but luckily we don't really have any money, so they can't really hurt us financially. That's usually how Scientology attacks people. But anyway, check out last week's episode. I hope that if you missed it, and check out some of our other Deep Issues episodes and some of our past episodes. We got some good stuff out there. Let's go around the Empire with Adam Hernandez.
All right, Josh, this is weird because when I was on my way over to your house tonight, I saw a flash in the sky.
Really?
It looked like lightning. Like I thought it was lightning. I didn't see a bolt or anything like that, but I saw a flash up in the sky.
Okay.
And I was thinking to myself, what the hell was it? Is there lightning? Because I know sometimes it was snowing a little bit. And I know sometimes snow can trigger lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that? Well, I thought maybe it was that, and I didn't really think anything of it after that. I thought, okay, was it like a transformer or something like that blowing up?
Is it more than meets the eye?
Well, I'm looking here now. Headline here: Suspected meteor flash lights up sky over Michigan and Illinois.
Wow.
Residents, and this is from an hour ago, residents in the northern Midwest were startled by a physical shaking, loud rumbling, and extremely bright flash Tuesday night. Early reports suggest that a fireball meteor soared across the area. Did you feel any?
I did not.
Any shaking, or did you hear any loud?
I didn't know.
Loud explosions or anything like that?
But
yeah, I'm looking at some of this video here.
Very cool.
And
do you think it was a Project Bluebeam test?
It could be.
You never know.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of this video though, dude. That's what it was.
Sweet.
Oh wow. There's this other. I'll show it to you after the show.
Okay.
But it's
cool stuff.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. It almost looks like a missile or something coming down. I'm not going to be conspiracy theorist. I'm trusting it's a meteor, but
good thing we're not in Hawaii. They'd have had us going crazy with
okay,
we're under attack.
Okay, we'll go with that now too. Josh is the king of segues here tonight. Yeah, we had the scare in Hawaii.
The Hawaiian Missile Crisis.
Yeah, this past weekend, when I know certain things are starting to come out about it now, that it was a drill that was actually accidentally put out to the public over some guy accidentally pressing yes twice on his computer screen instead of pressing no. That he didn't want this. That he didn't want this message.
Somebody pressed
to go
the
out.
wrong button.
That's what it was, apparently. Apparently it happened during a shift change in Hawaii where they were running a drill, and the notification came up on the computer asking if you wanted to send this out to the people of the state. The person said yes. They asked, are you sure? Do you want to send this? He pressed yes again, knowing there wasn't a missile inbound to the United States or Hawaii. And it caused a...
Here it happened in Japan too, right?
Did it happen in Japan too?
Yeah, later.
Oh, really?
Just like yesterday or the day before.
Oh, Jesus.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not certain that somebody's not out there hacking some systems.
You know what though? I posted this on the leftist fake news, the Empire Media, the other day. But CNN was doing an interview with one of the military guys in Hawaii, talking about this and talking about what they're going to do different, how they fix this and preparedness and the whole rundown. It was great because in the background of this command center, on one of their big monitors, they had a college basketball game. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, you know what? It's probably not that big of a deal.
Right.
But I'm thinking to myself, you know what? If you want to... You have CNN coming in. You know, this is going to be broadcast all across the country. If you want to, you know,
put people's minds at ease.
Yeah, put people's minds at ease. Get rid of that whole any notion that you guys are unprepared or are not focused. Turn off the basketball game.
Right.
And it was great too because you had a big monitor here with this basketball game on, and then some of the smaller monitors was like maybe the more important stuff that should be.
That's like straight out of the Avengers, like with Tony Stark. Like by the way, that guy's playing Galaga.
You know what this? It reminded me too. Remember in Austin Powers 2 when the guy at NORAD is like sitting there like he's watching Jerry Springer. And his boss comes by and he's like, keep an eye on that Kerblakistan thing. And he's like, yes, sir. And then his boss leaves and he turns on Jerry Springer again. And then Dr. Evil's on it. Like, oh, sir, we got a situation here. That's what it reminded me of a little bit. But yeah, get rid of the basketball game.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not I'm not certain that something's not being hacked in some places, though. I mean, you got these groups like Anonymous, you got these
North Korea.
Yeah, and I just I feel like they wouldn't want us to know if somebody was able to hack the system. But even if it was just a joke, you know.
But even if it wasn't a hacking, I mean, what's Kim Jong Un doing right now? Or when he saw that happen, he'd be fucking cracking up.
Right.
Well, these, you know, sitting there all eating all his people's food or what little they have. But yeah, anyways, sad news, Josh. Yesterday, lead singer of the Cranberries.
Yes, Dolores.
Yep, Dolores or
O'Riordan.
Yes, and I
saw them in concert years ago.
Did you?
Yeah, they're actually really good.
Yeah,
I'm not even a big fan now, you know, of their music, but they were good live though.
Yeah, I've always liked the Cranberries. I thought they were very good 90s band. I thought that
some with Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Yeah, no, that was a good show. It was a good show.
I always thought Zombie live on SNL was one of the great SNL performances of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, passing away at 46 years old, definitely very.
Was this
very
drugs?
Young. They don't know what it was.
It's got to be drugs, right?
I don't know. I don't want to say it's drugs or not, but they definitely say it was sudden.
She was there recording.
She was there recording. Yep, she was at a recording studio in London. I know last year though, the Cranberries were doing a tour of the UK, of Europe, and then the United States, and they had to cut it short in May because she was having some health problems, and those health problems were back. Now I don't know if that, you know. Attributed to
got her on
this
wrong meds or something.
I don't know. I do know she was. It says too that she was bipolar. So I don't know if there was any medication she was taking or something else that she took that
could have been a bad mix or something.
You know that had some type of counter effect or something. But yeah, definitely very very sad. One of the bigger bands too in the 90s.
Yeah, they were.
The Cranberries.
They had like that 3-album stretch where they were pretty huge.
There. Yep, their big three was it Zombie, Linger, and Dreams too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had those were Dreams and Linger off that first record. I can't remember the name of the album. They're sitting on the couch on the cover, but yeah, Dreams and Linger off that first one, and then Zombie on that second one, and then they had that third album with the I Just Shot John Lennon song.
They also had Salvation too.
Those three records were pretty big.
Yeah,
pretty huge.
Yep. She had a cool voice too, I thought.
She did.
She had a very cool voice. And the thing I liked about her voice too is it seems like a lot of these singers from that part of the world, like whether you're from the UK or you're from Ireland or something like that, it seems like you kind of lose your accent a little bit when you sing.
Oh yeah, they always said that about the Beatles.
Yeah, you could very much tell that she was Irish though. She had a very very heavy Irish accent when she sung, and I thought it was very very cool. I thought that was a cool aspect to.
Sure, it almost gave it that Irish folk sound when they didn't have an Irish folk sound at all.
Yeah.
You know, they were an alternative rock band, but
Mhm.
it just kind of gave it that sound, just hearing that Irish voice.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see here. Do we have anything else? No, we only had, what do we have, 3
Yeah.
news
true.
items tonight. Let me see if there's anything else here that that is worthwhile on the docket. Let's see. Former CIA officer Jerry Chung Xing Li was taken into custody Monday night under suspicion he provided China with secret information that led to the deaths of CIA informants in the country. This is a CIA mole arrested in connection with the deaths of at least 12 informants.
Wow.
So, according to the New York
Yikes.
Times, a former CIA agent was arrested by the FBI. He's suspected of compromising agency informants in China, many of whom were killed. Let's see here. Anything else worth noting in that one? That's crazy, though. It kind of reminds me of, not to the extent of, who was that one guy with the FBI that was charged with espionage, giving secrets to the Russians? Fuck, what was his name?
I don't know who you mean.
It was one of the biggest. I mean, because he was doing it for years. Damn it, what was his name?
This recently?
No, this was years ago.
Oh, okay.
FBI. I forgot his name.
I don't know who you mean.
Yeah, never mind. I can't remember. What else do we have here? No, not that. Did you see that video of Warren Hatch, or not Warren Hatch? Orrin Hatch removing his glasses when they weren't on his face.
No.
Go look at the GIF; it's pretty funny. Trump's physical went public today. According to Dr. Ronnie Jackson, said the president is in excellent health. He is, I believe, 6'3", 239 pounds, which according to BMI, he is 1 pound shy of being obese.
That's not bad, though. 6'3" and
239.
That's not bad.
70
That's not bad at all.
73 or 71 years old.
That's not bad. I don't think that's bad at all. I believe that he's healthy.
Yeah, 6'3", 239 pounds.
I know plenty of people who are weighing in at 240 and they ain't 6'3".
But yeah, they said his heart's in good shape, apparently. And the doctor said he sees no problem with him being this healthy throughout the rest of his 3 years or the rest of the next
7
term.
years, yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh, I believe it. He doesn't look decrepit.
no, and he also had a cognitive exam at his own request, which the doctor said he did very, very well in too. So, yeah, apparently he's in excellent physical shape.
Well, there you go.
Despite the doctor saying that he wants him to lose a few pounds and exercise more.
Yeah, which doctor doesn't say that? You know what, though? Actually, Adam,
What's that?
according to the BMI thing,
Mhm.
I'm actually almost obese, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, sure, I could peel 10, but I don't think I'm obese. You know, I mean, I think that's a bit much. So I throw that right out.
Let's see. New California declares independence from the rest of the state. The New California movement aims to separate from the coastal part of California in a bid to become the 51st state. So this isn't about California wanting to secede totally from the Union. This is about California breaking away from California and becoming New California. And a lot of this stretches from Los Angeles all the way up to a little bit past San Francisco. But claiming California is governed by a tyranny, organizers proposing the state of New California read their own Declaration of Independence on Monday.
I've heard they've been talking about stuff like this for a long time. There was actually a plan to make California actually 6 states. They've talked for years about having Northern California and Southern California being two different states. To be honest, I support this, actually. I feel like they, for one thing, have way too much power in the House of Representatives, and I feel like a lot of people end up being disenfranchised in a state that large.
A lot of people say too that there's a big difference between Southern California and Northern California.
Oh, there is. Yeah.
I know that they've talked about it.
They're
too.
both crazy in their own kind of ways, but
well, I like California, but I guess that's the leftist, radical, Antifa portion of me. So
that is definitely it.
Sorry, Dino. I know they're talking about this here in Michigan too, with the Upper Peninsula wanting to be their own state.
Yeah.
From which is
that'd be dumb.
It's stupid. Yeah. Absolutely.
And for one thing, California really does have the land mass and the
people
and the population to where they really probably should be 2 or 3 states, honestly.
Could you say the same thing about Texas?
Yes, but I feel like Texas is at least geographically kind of made up to be a singular state, But I wouldn't care. Do you know what I find funny about that, though, Adam, actually? Is that the way I read the Constitution, that's unconstitutional.
What's unconstitutional?
For California to become 2 states or Texas to become 2 states. It actually says right in the Constitution that you can't make a new state out of part of an existing state. But this doesn't matter. It's been thrown out and precedent is set, because in that case, and I have actually made this claim before, that would mean that the state of West Virginia is unconstitutional. And the state of West Virginia has existed for quite some time now and is a perfectly good state. So this throws that out. West Virginia, as we know, when Virginia was a state, it originally.
So precedent's already been set.
Precedent is set, yeah. But and Virginia was what we now know as Virginia and West Virginia. That originally was all one state known as Virginia. And when they talk about Virginia, the Virginia that George Washington and Thomas Jefferson came from, that Virginia incorporated what we now know as West Virginia.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. Maybe this is this is obviously not going to happen.
Yeah,
they're not going to split California.
Probably not.
And what I'm seeing here is it's just mostly up and down the coast.
Oh, they would need to have a definitive border, a definitive line that would slice it down the middle. Not this, you'd be driving in and out of New California and regular California all the time. You'd have to have some sort of definitive line.
What do you have here? Steve Bannon, former chief strategist of the White House, the President of the United States, former chief executive of Breitbart, was subpoenaed by the House Intelligence Committee today to speak on the Russia probe. Last time, when I actually left tonight, Josh, I left my house about 7:45, 10 to 8, something like that. I believe it started at 9 in the morning. He was still meeting with members of the House Intelligence Committee.
What a drag.
And he was also been subpoenaed by Special Counsel Robert Mueller as well to speak about this whole Russia probe thing. So Steve Bannon, I doubt it's still going on right now. I mean, it's almost 10 after 11 here in the East.
Yeah, it'd be 14 hours.
Yeah. But looks like he will be facing a grand jury.
All right. Well, more to come on that. I'm sure.
Definitely.
Talk about that next week.
And it looks like the government may be shutting down over the immigration debate. The deadline is, I believe, this Friday, Josh. If they can't come to an agreement to fund the government, and one of the big issues on the table right now is immigration with DACA. If an agreement can't be compromised, or if they can't come to an agreement with that, it looks like the government's going to shut down on Friday. So,
Yikes.
which would be the first time, I believe, since 2013 that this has happened.
I actually love it when the government shuts down.
Why,
Just
so you
because
can't get mail?
No, just because I like, wow, look, nothing's different. See what government does for us? Nothing.
Yeah. What? I know it's a big issue. What do you think of DACA though?
I don't even feel qualified enough to make a statement, and I don't think we had enough time to even get into it. To tell you the truth, I don't have enough. I don't even have enough of an opinion. I don't want to say too much.
You want to say something that's going to get me going?
Yeah. I mean, we got to wrap this up.
Okay. Let me see if I have anything else. I'm for DACA.
Of course you are.
It's leftist and fake newsy of me.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But that's going to be it for tonight.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We do appreciate it. We actually got some really cool stuff lined up. Coming up soon. Got some cool guests. We got Todd Friedman coming on in a couple weeks. But before that, who's got a cool new book out will have a cool new book out later this year about Walter Day. Really excited about that. We have Deep Issues in a couple weeks for ghosts, revisiting our ghosts, not ghosts, aliens.
No, aliens.
Revisiting the aliens topic, which will be very cool. And next week, back with regular old show, just like this week, but different and maybe better. Maybe not better. Maybe better, though. We'll see. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate it.